Good evening, and welcome to a new edition of Urban Sentinel Live. This is your host, Reggie Kearney, and I'm glad to be here with you tonight to sit down and chop it up with another fine individual. Tonight, we're coming all the way from North Carolina with Miss Lakeisha Board. She's an author, writer, mother, wife, she's everything. So we thought we'd sit down for the next 45 minutes and spend some time with her. Good evening, Miss Lakeisha Board. How are you doing? I hope my producer didn't run off and forget to bring her up. Look like we're having a little technical difficulties right now, and hopefully Miss Board will be with us in 1 second here. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Well, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Reggie. This is I'm Lashika.
Oh,
Lashika
Lashika.
boy.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, folks, I start out
Uh-huh.
wrong already. I'm calling her Lakeisha. It's Lashika.
Yeah,
And
that's okay.
you
You
don't have to
good.
call me Mr. Kearney either, okay? I know I look old.
Okay, okay.
I don't. I don't
No,
feel old. Okay?
no, you're not old. You're not old at all.
So how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Good.
I hope you are.
Oh yeah, I'm doing fine. Doing fine. Hey, look. Before we get started, I was telling the listening audience that you're from North Carolina. Now that incident where the guy shot the
Mhm.
guy's daughter, was that in your area? Was that near you?
Now, which one? Which incident?
The one where the guy shot at the man and his
Mhm.
little girl for the basketball roll into the yard.
Oh, now it's been so many incidences lately.
Hmm.
I'm not
Uh-huh.
sure. I think that one. I believe that one was like in Asheville, North Carolina, like more towards like the
Oh,
mountains,
okay.
mountain area.
Okay.
I'm about
Okay.
I'm in a yeah, but it's been a lot going on lately, unfortunately.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, that's going on everywhere. So, before we get started, like I was telling everyone, you are an author and a writer, and
Mhm.
yeah, a wife and a mother, and
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of stuff. So let's get things started. What
Okay.
motivated you to become a writer, an author? You know.
Okay. What motivated me to become a writer? Um, my children
Hmm.
motivated me to just have a more free life, to be able to do with them, do things with them. My
Uh-huh.
children are always involved in sports and things like that. And I've always worked like a 9 to 5. And me getting off work early, using PTO to go to games and, things like that, it had started
Hmm.
getting aggravating. It started
Hmm.
getting really aggravating to where I couldn't, get off early some days. And I didn't want to miss games. I was actually at that time, my daughter, she was in middle school and she's
Hmm.
21 now. So
Okay.
my son, yeah, my middle son, he's 14 now. So I'm able to go to all of his basketball games. I'm able to go to my youngest son's, school, volunteer. I just,
Hmm.
like the freedom of it,
Hmm.
of being able to just do, with my kids anytime.
Right. Okay. Now, okay, what were you doing before you became an author?
I was working in the medical field. I was
Okay.
working as a medical biller and coder,
Okay.
and I did medical insurance
Uh-huh.
department. So I worked with like all of the major medical insurances like Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, things like that. So I was in the
Mhm.
medical field for about 15 years.
Okay.
And that just
So,
got so repetitive.
oh, okay. I'm sure. I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I'm sure it did. Now, how did you make that pivot from
Mhm.
working in the medical field to putting pen to paper?
Well, I've always written.
Hmm.
Okay. I've always kept a journal since I was about probably like sixth grade. So very, very many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I kept started writing in my journal, just writing down, personal thoughts and things, even things that would happen throughout the day. I would just write
Mm-hmm.
a lot. And then when I was going through a divorce, I
Mm-hmm.
started working at a radio station.
Okay.
Okay. And I was doing like voiceovers for the radio station, and I started writing commercials for my clients. So that really got me to, like more a professional instead of like journaling. I started writing for like just different people I would do commercials for. I would
Oh,
start writing their
okay.
commercials, and I really enjoyed doing that. I mean, that was just something that I really liked doing. I would meet with the client, I would sell commercial spots for them, and then I would just
Mm-hmm.
write the commercial, and they would approve it, and then sometimes they would want me to do the voiceover for their commercial, and then some people wanted to read my commercial on air
Mm-hmm.
themselves for their business.
Now, so why you didn't go to Hollywood?
Okay. One day.
Uh-huh. I mean, you writing commercials, and I'm sure that takes a lot of thought, when you're doing a commercial for someone to get the right word in and
Right.
things of that nature. So I
Yeah.
mean, you could have made a step on out to Hollywood or to one of the major networks, and began writing commercials. You could have went and worked for an ad firm, or you could have started your own advertising firm. Doing commercials and doing voiceovers and stuff.
Oh,
So
right. Look, you're giving me some ideas, some more
oh,
ideas.
okay. All right. Then that's what I'm here to do. Just remember me when you get to the top. Just remember me that I pushed you up the ladder. So
Oh,
did
I
you write a
definitely
lot?
will.
Thank you. Did you write a lot when you were in high school and junior high school?
Um, I didn't really write a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I When I would have to do like projects and things like that, then I felt like I was forced to
Mm-hmm.
write. So it wasn't really the like my favorite thing to do back in high school and middle school, because I wasn't able to write about the topics that I wanted to write about.
Right.
I would have to write about, whatever we were studying in school. So that
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
really, I didn't really enjoy it then. I
Mm-hmm.
did like to journal, and when I was little, used to just, make up, like write songs and, little things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
as far as school, I didn't do a whole lot of writing. I wrote a speech before
Mm-hmm.
when I was in the ninth grade, and I won vice president, and I
Okay.
had wrote that speech. So that's really I enjoyed doing that because I actually wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Okay. So I know you working on a number of books and everything at this time. So how do you balance your life? Because I know
Hmm.
being an author and a writer has to be
Hmm.
hard at times because you have to have a clear mind to gather your thoughts together and stuff, and you might wake up
Hmm.
at 2 o'clock in the morning and say, "Look, let me go do some
Right.
writing." So how do you
Right.
keep that balance in your home life with that, being a writer and author?
Mhm. It's hard. Let me tell you, it's hard because, like I said, I'm a mom. My daughter,
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't live at home anymore. She graduated from college and she's doing, she has her own career. But
Right.
we do have two sons, a 14-year-old and a 6-year-old. So I'm very busy. So what I do is once I finally wind down at night, like
Mm-hmm.
after, everybody's fed and in bed, I can kind of chill
Mm-hmm.
and lay back a little bit, and that's when I can get my thoughts together and put my pen to my paper and write at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Even sometimes if I think of something and I'm cooking or I'm in the middle of doing something, what I'll do is I'll grab my phone and put in my notes my thoughts. I'll just write those down,
Okay.
like for maybe something like that. So I'll definitely kind of write put it in my notepad in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, in my phone, and I'll go back to it later.
Okay. Well, I hope you don't be burning
Yeah.
down, with those when your
No,
thoughts come to your mind.
no.
Okay. Yeah. I see you there and say, "Hey, what happened to dinner?" Oh, I had a thought. I had to stop.
Right.
Right in the middle of the thing. So where do you come up with your ideas for your the books that you
Hmm.
the one book you've written? We're gonna talk about that tonight, and any other books that you may
Okay.
have begun on. Where do you come up with ideas for your books?
Well, all my books, I come up with the ideas from just life experiences, things that I've
Okay.
gone through, or
Hmm.
things that a lot of like friend girls have wanted to know about, or we've spoken
Hmm.
about, girls' night, or what have you, just things that are, reality, just
Hmm.
real things. I'm a very, authentic person. So I want people to know, that I've been through things, and maybe
Hmm.
I can help the next person, woman or man, that may be going through things that I've been through. So I get, most of my ideas just from things that I've been through.
Life experiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely life experiences. And then I
Hmm.
just, take it from there and just, write those thoughts down and just go from there with
Okay.
my writing.
Okay.
Hmm.
Good. 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 So let's talk about the first book that you
Okay.
that you wrote that'll be coming out pretty soon. And to let
Yes.
everyone know, I have a magazine, Urban Sentinel magazine, and I do feature a lot of the guests that have been on the show. I do feature in the magazine, and Miss Boyd was in my magazine a couple of years ago, I believe it was, and she
Yes.
was talking about her
Yes.
upcoming book. Now, for the women, I know the women gonna love this book that's coming up. For the men, hey man, we out there, man. We just out there. We just gonna have to deal with it now. We just gonna have to deal with it. And the title of your first book that's coming out, Men Close Your
Mhm.
Ears. What is the name of your first book that's coming out?
It's called Top 20 Reasons Why Men Cheat.
Now, men. Now, men, let's get her. Okay, let's get her. I got her here now. Let's get her. She said top
Look.
20. She didn't say why do men cheat, okay? She said
Look.
top 20 reasons. Now look, top 20. You know the only top 20 we
Yeah.
understand is basketball, football, stuff like that. She going into cheating and said top 20 reasons men
Yes.
cheat. Lordy, lordy, lordy. Okay, all right. Okay. Go ahead and let you slap on hammers. So, how did you come up with that title, first of all?
Well, it was a life experience. So my
Okay.
ex-husband, he did cheat, he cheated
Mm-hmm.
on me. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so my girlfriends and I, they had like friend girls, they had, boyfriends and things that, cheated on them as well. So we would all, of course, sit around and just, chat. And so my mentor at the radio station that I was at, writing
Mm-hmm.
commercials, BJ Murphy, he
Mm-hmm.
told me, he asked me, he said, why don't you write a book? Because I used to work for him at the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I would come in, not so, happy,
Right. Right.
drama going on, late for work, had to, figure things out, just, things that I was going through. And he asked me, he said, you should just write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And with me always journaling, it was easy to start writing things down. So what I did was I thought about it and I said, okay, I said, well, why do men cheat? It was just
Mm-hmm.
a thought that came to mind. And what I did was I started surveying. I started just asking, different men, because I would have to meet people working at
Mm-hmm.
the radio station, things like that. So I would just ask different men, what have they ever cheated, first of all? And
Mm-hmm.
then what was their reason to cheat? And then some men, were so open to tell me about it and so honest and ready to talk about it. But then you get some men, they were like, I'm not
Uh-huh.
telling you that. Why do you want to know that?
Uh-huh.
you know So it was all types of different responses. So I would just, write it down or put it in my notes in my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And I had so many different reasons. And I figured, that would be a good topic because
Mm-hmm.
everybody has gone through it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, yeah, it was a lot. I mean, when I even told my dad,
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Oh."
They say, "Oh,
So it
that's what you're gonna write on."
yeah. So
Uh-huh.
I mean, it can be an uncomfortable topic for people, but I mean, but it's real. Yeah.
Right, right, right. But dang,
Hmm.
20 reasons.
Right.
That's a lot of reasons,
It
for
it is.
yeah.
Hmm.
But why
But
you
I mean,
didn't
a lot
title?
of them.
Now, what I was
I'm
gonna say,
sorry.
why you didn't title the book? Why do men and the top 20 reasons why men and women cheat? Because women, women get out there sometimes,
Well,
step on out there,
they
do their
do.
thing. Yeah.
They do, but you know what, Mr. Reggie, that's going to be my
Mhm.
next book. Is
Oh,
top
okay.
20 reasons why women cheat. So I'm not going to
Top
leave
two.
us out.
But I think it's gonna be harder for you to write the women's book than it is for the men.
Hmm.
Because women try to
Hmm.
be very secretive. This in
They
my
are.
opinion,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
will they will really hold back because they don't want to be seen as someone that cheated. So, unless
Right.
you find a woman who's just been out there and she doesn't mind telling her story, then I think it's gonna be
Right.
hard to do that. You might have to go to top 5 reasons why women cheat. You might not get top 20 because
It,
you might,
look,
you might only get them top 5 from one woman. Because
it
men,
might be.
yeah, men are
You'd
like,
be surprised.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Men are
You'd be
like,
surprised.
hey, okay,
Hmm.
and then they'll go ahead and spill the beans and stuff. But
Yeah,
sounds
you're right. You're right.
yeah, sounds like that's going to be a very interesting book. So,
Hmm.
not trying to give away your whole book. Just give me maybe
Okay.
2 or 3 reasons why men say they cheated.
Okay. Well, a lot of the men that I did
Hmm.
survey, they cheated for like similar reasons. Let's say for instance, attention, things like
Hmm.
that, like not getting enough attention at home.
Hmm.
Yeah, not getting enough attention at home.
Hmm.
Let's see, another one, another popular one that several men had in common was it was easy, believe it or not. It was easy. It
Hmm.
was just something that they could do to, they could get away with it.
Hmm.
And then let's see, another one is that they were the man of the house, like paying
Oh,
all the
now that.
bills, and
Mhm.
they felt like that was a reason that they could just do whatever
Mhm.
because they paid the bills, they were the breadwinner, the provider. Yeah, you would be surprised. I mean, you would be very, very surprised because
That's a
I was
very
very surprised.
yeah, that's a very
Hmm.
interesting one because you the man.
Yeah,
Okay, you pay the
yeah,
bills,
because
so
he's
that gives you the
yeah.
right to go
Hmm.
out and see.
Yep.
So,
And a lot of men think. I mean, a lot of men really surprisingly think like that.
hmm, thinking like cavemen. Okay,
Hmm.
man, we got to do better than that. Now we can be thinking like prehistoric men,
No,
cavemen. Just because you're in charge, you can do what you want to do.
right.
Because I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I
sure
mean, yeah. Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that was an awkward position for them to be in when they got caught, and
Mhm.
they used that as an excuse. Told their wife or ex-wife, whatever they may be. Now, I did it because
Right.
I'm in charge. I'm paying all the bills. You're not working, so I feel I can go out and do that. And everything. But
Yes, yeah. It was
now,
it was bad, bad.
uh
Yeah.
yeah. Now, if you
Mhm.
put it into a historical perspective, now if you look back
Right.
on tradition of our ancestors, and you look back on the motherland
Mhm.
of Africa, men, and it's not
Right.
as prevalent as it used to be, had 2 or 3 wives or 2 or 3 families or whatever,
Yes,
if they
they
could,
did. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
if
right.
they could afford it, okay, it wasn't something that was allowed
Okay.
if you couldn't afford it, So I guess men feel like,
Right.
hey, I'm bringing the bread home. If I want to step out, I can step. But that's a dumb a reason, okay? I mean, come on now.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's a lot of those. And what I did,
Mm-hmm.
even though I didn't like, any of the reasons, and I thought they were, a lot of the reasons were just crazy and just
Mm-hmm.
outrageous, I let them speak their truth. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote about it. And then
Mm-hmm.
at the end of each chapter, or the end of each reason, I
Mm-hmm.
put my opinion on it, and
Okay.
then I put a quote on it at the end of each reason. So
Mm-hmm.
you'll know my thoughts regardless,
Mm-hmm.
even though it's about, the reasons are about the men because of
Right.
what they told me. I wrote it
Mm-hmm.
all, all about them, but I did put an opinion and a quote from myself at the end of
Mm-hmm.
each reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know you consulted your husband while you was doing this book, just to get his
Hmm.
perspective. Man, what did he think about some of those lame reasons that they were giving?
Well, I did consult him a lot. We were just, when I first had the thought to just
Mm-hmm.
start even surveying, I still was working in the medical field. So it was something that I would do when I had time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been brewing for a while.
Right.
So me him and I, we were just dating at the time. So we were not
Mm-hmm.
even, we weren't living together or anything. We were just dating.
Okay.
And he, looked very surprised,
Mm-hmm.
as my daddy did. But
Yeah, I
when
mean,
yeah, he was I mean, he wasn't
mm-hmm.
surprised at the reasons because
Mm-hmm.
he's always been upfront and honest with me about his past.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't really surprised at a lot of the reasons that they cheated because he's cheated in his past before.
Mm-hmm.
So in his past, I'll repeat that,
Mm-hmm.
not, not with me, but
Mm-hmm.
we've always been upfront and open with each other where we've been able to talk. So he's really, kind of put his 2 cents in as well
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
on
I
the
mean,
reasons and stuff.
yeah, that, and I know men have had that challenge, like that one about I'm the head of the household, I can do what I want to do. That's just
Yeah,
great.
that sounds old school. That's very,
Yeah.
very old school to me. And believe it or not, it was young guys that would say stuff like that, like maybe like 30s, like younger, younger than me, like in
Oh
their
no.
30s and stuff.
No,
So
yeah,
yeah,
they think they're the boss. They done paid the price.
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna do what I
yep,
want
they
to do.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna definitely do what I want to do.
Yeah,
Very, very
yeah.
interesting. Very interesting. Now, how many pages is this book gonna be? As far as the reading time.
Um, the book's gonna at least be maybe like almost 100.
Yeah. Okay.
80 to 100, 80 to 100, I
Okay.
believe. I'll know exactly the page count
Hmm.
in about 30 days
Okay.
because and then I'll have a release date
Hmm.
around the 30-day mark as well. So
Hmm.
I'll have more information and I'll post it on my like Facebook or Instagram, things like
Right.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, are you self-publishing?
Yes, I am. I am
Oh,
self-publishing,
okay.
but I'm going with the first book. I'm going with a company that
Hmm.
um that helps with self-publishing. So
Okay.
I have all the rights. I'll have all my rights and everything. Yes, and my
Okay.
website. Yeah, my website will be coming soon as well.
Hmm.
That way, people can order on the website. They'll have my release date and things like that on there, and they'll have
Okay.
my husband and I, we had a podcast. We still have a podcast, but I just
Hmm.
didn't have the time
Hmm.
to just continue right now. I was wanting to go ahead and get my book out there and then continue. But we have about 5 episodes, and it's called Filter Free Chronicles Podcast. So we
And
have
what is
about
that?
5 episodes.
And what is that podcast?
I'm sorry.
What is the podcast about?
It's relationship based.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's like kind of like Battle of the Sexes.
Hmm.
Like, what I think as a woman opposed to what he thinks as a man with like certain topics.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. That sounds great.
Mhm.
That sounds good.
Yeah, thank you.
Y'all get
Thank you.
arguing over there and get fighting over there, throwing stuff at each other.
Nothing.
Live.
He's calm. He's very calm.
Uh-huh.
I'm the feisty one. He's
You
calm
the
though.
feisty one, you the aggressor, you the pushy one. Do you know good well? Okay, okay, okay. I got that. I got that. Okay,
Yeah.
I understand that everything, But very interesting, very interesting. Now, what would you? How do you get around writer's block? Okay, like I said, I know you've been working on this book for a
Hmm.
while. I know there's probably
Right.
been times where you might have walked away from the book for a month or two because you just couldn't
Oh,
bring it together, with ideas. So
yes.
how do you get around writer's block?
Writer's block is very hard. How I got around it though was just kind of regrouping.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, I would step away and I wouldn't really feel bad about stepping away at the time. I would
Mm-hmm.
step away, get my thoughts together, and I would start just jotting stuff down, just writing stuff down again. And once I wrote, started putting things back in my notes, started, putting everything together,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I could kind of, start back again. But I would always give myself a break. So that's how I would get around it by giving myself some, just some me time, some,
Right.
self care time
Yeah.
is how I would get around it. It was very hard at the beginning
Mm-hmm.
because at first I was in like a space to where, my ex husband had cheated and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
once I had met, my husband now, and it was hard to write at the time because he was treated me so good, and I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't really in that space anymore. I didn't want to, talk about men cheating all the time. I didn't want to, even think about it because I was in
Mm-hmm.
such a good space with him. So I had real bad writer's block at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to, regroup and know that, I'm talking about, past experiences, and I'm surveying, different men so that I can come up with a good book, just to even help men and women, because it's not
Right.
a bashing type book. It's not a book
Mm-hmm.
to bash men. It's just to, see the reasons why, and they can come up with their conclusion of, either they're going to stop
Mm-hmm.
and, want and pursue a relationship or not. You don't have to be in a relationship to be happy, but you don't want to be in a relationship where there's lies and deceit either.
Mm-hmm. 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 Very interesting. Very interesting. And
Yeah.
I can understand it
Hmm.
part does take a minute to write a book because I sometimes I hear people talking about they've been working on a book for 1 or 2 years and they
Yeah.
3 years and haven't finished it yet, but they finally finished it. How long
Right.
did it take you to write it? 3 years. That's
Right.
a long time
Right.
to write a book. A long time to write a book.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's
And it's
that's
very
very
tedious work.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
very, I mean, it can be tedious. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I understand now because I've had to stop and go.
Right. Now, what do you think about how you feel about people who use ghostwriters to write their book?
Um, I'm not into ghostwriting.
Hmm.
I mean, I wouldn't personally. I mean, to each their own, but personally, I wouldn't want a ghostwriter to write for me because
Hmm.
I want everything to be authentic. I want it to
Right.
be my words. Um, I want to learn.
Hmm.
I want to get better each book. So I
Hmm.
don't think that I would be able to really get better if I had someone else, writing down the experiences, or, um the survey. Like me, I actually went out and surveyed these men.
Hmm.
I don't think that I would want a ghostwriter to write down something that I, did. But I don't, I'm
Right.
not
Yeah.
knocking anybody that has
Uh,
ghostwriters because, like a lot of celebrities and things like that, they get their books out like quick. And I think
yeah.
that a lot of people were expecting me to be like, "Oh, when's your book coming out? When's your book coming out?" And they keep asking. I'm like, "Oh, it's coming. It's
Hmm.
coming, but it's not. It's not an overnight. It's not an overnight, type thing.
Right. Right.
It's a process. It's
Yeah.
definitely a process.
If you do it the right way. If you do it the right
Yes.
way. Because if
Of
you
course.
use, I know there are some, I know a couple guys out here that have written books and they've written a ton of books, but they've used ghostwriters.
Okay.
Because, I mean, in a lifetime,
Mhm.
it's probably hard to write 15 or 20 books on your own and the type of schedule you have. So you got
Right.
that just shows that you have employed somebody else, giving them the ideas and
Right.
that you want them to use, and they've just developed a book around your ideas and stuff. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, so I
Yes, of
know it
course.
takes time. Yeah, I know it takes
Oh
time.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the easy way out to make money off a book.
Yeah.
And everything. The easy way out.
It definitely is.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
It definitely is.
sounds like this book could be a book that could be made into a movie.
Oh yeah. I've definitely
Hmm.
thought about a movie,
Hmm.
like a mini series. Yeah, I've
Uh-huh.
definitely thought about that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
right.
a
Yeah, yeah, that'd be a good miniseries too. You could take
yeah.
each reason and develop it,
Mm-hmm.
especially one where the guy said he's in charge at home. He pays the bills and stuff. I mean,
Yeah, we
that
would have
could be
to
a
get the
good one. That could be your first.
yes, yeah. I would have to
You
get the perfect actor for that. Yeah.
you ain't lying. Somebody could really get into that one, be a character actor.
Yeah.
Especially with that one. That'd be a good one. That'd
Yeah,
be
it would.
yeah, a good
I
miniseries.
think so.
Yeah.
I think so. But that would be like a dream come true if I could do something like that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, it's possible. It's
Yeah,
possible. And a
it
lot of
definitely is.
times, a lot of these books, do turn into movies. You
Oh
look
yeah.
at the author of Harry Potter, the Harry Potter
Oh
series.
yeah.
What she do?
Oh, my sister loves that. My
Yeah,
sister loves Harry Potter. Yeah.
what she do? Take one book and everything that was done with that book. It turns out to be
Mm-hmm.
$8 billion. In sales.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm. That's crazy, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and everything that is that uses her, uses Harry Potter as a centerpiece. That's money right there.
Mm-hmm.
That she
Right.
licensed out the name and stuff like that. So she's done very well with Harry Potter.
Oh yeah.
You go
Oh
down
yeah.
to I think it's Universal. I think you go down to Universal. You got
Mm-hmm.
a Harry Potter ride, theme area, and stuff like that. So I mean,
Right.
that might be. Yeah, I think that's this Disney Universe. I can't even remember which one it is now. But
Okay. Okay.
they she's making money off that the usage of her name and the concept. So
Oh yeah, she definitely is.
yeah,
Very smart.
yeah, very
Mm-hmm.
smart. So you never know
Yeah.
what's ahead for you. When it
I
comes to
know. I know. Thank you. And I'm excited.
that. Yes,
Definitely.
yes, yes. You never know. So yeah. So to my viewers, we've been talking to Miss Lashika Board tonight and talking about her
Mhm.
love of writing. She's an author. She's also a writer for. She just came on board with Urban Sentinel magazine as a writer, and she has a great
Yes.
feature article that's coming in the May magazine of a celebrity.
Yeah.
Which is
I'm
going to be
so
a good
excited
article.
about that.
Hi.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said
So
I'm so excited.
yeah, yeah, it was a good article. I looked it over
Thank
today,
you.
and it turned out good and everything. And
Thank you.
I think the reader's going to really like talking to her, reading about her, and
Oh
her
yeah.
journey, and she's done very well for herself. That's all I'm gonna
Oh
tell
yeah, she definitely.
tell the listeners so they can read the magazine in May. When it
Oh
comes
yes.
out.
It's gonna be a great one.
Yeah. So I definitely wanted to do that. I definitely wanted to do that.
Oh
So
yeah.
where do you see yourself 10, 15 years down the road as an author? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself first either having like a mini series about the book.
Mhm.
One day I want to do like some memoirs for my children. to,
Hmm.
have, and, grandchildren, great grandchildren. I just want them to be able to, I want to leave a legacy and just let them, be proud of me.
Hmm.
And as far as I do see, I think I see film, behind the scenes film though, not like
Right.
in front of the camera. Not in front of the camera, but I want to be behind the scenes. I do
Hmm.
want to, have movies made out of my books, or miniseries, or maybe
Right.
even like reality show stuff
Hmm.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I have a
And
lot of ideas.
I have a good friend now. She's a writer, author,
Okay.
and she has two. I think she had two. I got to talk to her too. Says doing. She has like two screenplays out right now,
Oh wow.
being
Mhm.
under consideration. And from
Oh
talking to
yeah.
her, it's a lot of hard work. Because your your
Mhm.
your screenplay gets passed around till till your agent finds somebody who really likes it and is willing to put the money up for it,
Right.
to develop
Yeah,
it.
you're right.
And
Mhm.
yeah, so I got to talk to her and see how she's doing with it. But there are many possibilities out there. The sky's the limit.
Oh
Sky's
yeah,
the
it definitely is.
So I think wish and hope for you complete success that you'll be
Thank
successful at.
you.
So yeah, that's
Yes,
good.
thank
So
you.
you say you used to work for BJ, huh?
I did. I
Yeah.
BJ is a great mentor. Do you know BJ?
Yes. Yeah, I've talked to him, man.
Okay.
A couple of years ago. I interviewed for the show, and
Okay. Okay,
and,
great.
thing, So yes. Now, is he still DJing down the show? Does he still have his show?
He has different like different shows in
Okay.
Charlotte and Atlanta. He's the one who produces my podcast.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
Hmm.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah, so he produces the podcast.
Right.
He's always got a lot going on too.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. He does. He does. He does.
Hmm.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah.
As
Not
long
at
as
all.
you bringing in them nickels and dimes is okay.
That's right.
That's what it's all about. Um, um, that's what it's all about. That is what it's
Right.
all about. So, what advice would you have for up and coming author, young author?
What advice I have for an up and coming young author?
Yeah.
Don't quit.
Okay.
It gets hard. I know that, with young authors, they, still, we have a day job.
Hmm.
So, but don't quit writing, whatever you do. Just keep going. Don't get discouraged when people tell you that you're not able to do something, or no, you're not going to be able to be an author, or you're not good enough. Don't listen
Hmm.
to, the naysayers. Don't listen to people that's, negative.
Right.
So don't, listen to the negativity. Just keep doing your craft. Just keep
Hmm.
writing, and don't stop. Don't give up.
Okay. Okay. Every working with, it's easy to give up and just call it a day
Yes.
and not keep
Oh
pushing
yeah.
at it. So yeah, yes, yes, yes. So
Yeah, that's the easy part.
uh,
Hmm.
yeah. So when your book finally hits the bookshelf and hits the
Uh-huh.
stores and hits Amazon, and the New York
Right.
bestseller, we'll sit down and talk again
Oh yeah.
about that. You know, about that
Oh, that
success.
sounds wonderful.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
would
about
love to.
that. Okay. All right.
I would love to.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and shut it down for my
Okay.
viewers. I've spent time with Miss Lashika Board tonight, who's a writer and an author, and writes great articles also. And you heard her say she does commercials, voiceovers, and things of that
Yes.
nature. Writes the commercials. So if you're out there, you need a commercial, please get Miss Lashika Board. Lashika, how can people get in contact with you?
Okay, you can get in contact with me through Facebook, which I'm Lashika. That's LAS as in Sam, HEIKA. Lashika Craig, which is my maiden name, Boyd. So it's Lashika Craig Boyd on Facebook. And then on Instagram, it's Filter Free Chronicles _ podcast
Okay.
on
Sounds
there.
good.
And yeah, Filter Free Chronicles _ podcast. And I have another page with book information on it, and it's just top 20 reasons why men cheat. And that's the title of the book.
Mhm.
On all of those pages, you'll be able to get the release date, which is coming soon, and you'll be able to get information as far as my website. And on my
Okay.
website, you'll be able to get all that information.
All right. Sounds good. And you said
Okay.
website will be up soon. You have a new
Yes, my
website coming
website.
up.
I do. I have a brand new
Okay.
website, and he's done a great job. So I'll have that. That'll be posted on my page as well. So the website will
Okay.
come soon. I'm trying to wait before I release it. To get my release date on the book so that
Okay.
it can be there, and everybody can kind of go there and purchase, as
Okay.
well as Amazon. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. I've enjoyed talking to you, Miss Boyd. To my listening audience, like I said again, we've spent time tonight and sat down with Miss Lashika Boyd, and we're going to wish her well and keep her on our prayers that she becomes as successful as possible. That, hey, the sky's the limit. So, look, until next week, this is Reggie Kearney with Urban Sentinel Live, and wishing you well and be safe out there and take care. Watch your back. It's kind of rough out there. Good night.